Making the jump from a controller to using CDJs for the first time can be a bit intimidating, but it's not as bad as it used to be. A lot of the controllers on the market now share a very similar layout to the modern CDJs that you find in a lot of DJ booths. Now, although a lot of the feature set is the same, there are some key differences. So in this video, we go over some of those differences that we think you should be made aware of before using CDJs for the first time. Now, if you're interested in more tips and tricks videos just like this one, make sure you subscribe to this channel. So now let's go over some of those differences that you should check before making the jump from controllers to using CDJs. So coming from a controller to playing on a CDJs, the biggest difference I would say off the bat is the placement of the hot cues. Now normally on a controller you'd find pads down here at the bottom section, usually 8 pads that are, 2 rows of 4. But instead on most CDJs, if they have hot cues at all, they're going to be right here on the left side and they're going to be named hot cue. And also, unlike the performance pads that you find on most DJ controllers, these pads really only have one function and it's hot cue. So you can't switch into a looping mode on these or, a slicing mode, something like that. They're really just gonna have one function. So just like you would on any of the other pads, once you hit them, the track starts playing. Now, one other difference when using these hot cue pads is that unlike the performance pads that you would find on a controller, as soon as you tap the pad, the track will start playing. So even though I had the track stopped, the track will start playing. Unlike if you use the cue button down here, this is kind of like the behavior that you're used to if you're used to mashing on the hot cue pads, to try to time to get a track in place. It's more like this rather than just one tap and play. So that's just something to keep in mind when using these hot cue pads instead of having the performance pads here down at the bottom. Now, another big difference when using CDJs coming from a controller is the way that you browse through your playlist in your library. So on a controller, you actually have, a keyboard connected to your computer that you can type in and search through tracks. On most CDJs, you're gonna have to use this browse button right here and then scroll through all of your tracks using this browse knob. Then of course, it really helps to have your music, organized into some nice organized playlists, and then you can scroll through a little bit faster. One tip I have is don't have too long of a playlist, so it makes it a lot faster to scroll through. Also, another tip, if you hold down the knob, you get this right here where you can scroll through a lot faster than just going one by one, which is really nice to have. Now, another cool feature that CDJs have that you can only find on some controllers is this right here, which is the Jog Wheel Adjust. So if I put this all the way to the left, it'll make the jog wheel light, which means really free spinning, really cool for some spin backs. If I go all the way to the right where it says heavy, it's a lot tighter, gives you a lot more control. It's a little bit more precise. I personally like having it somewhere in the middle. I like a little bit of movement, but I like a little bit of tension, so I feel like I have more control over the jog wheel. What's really cool is that, say you have the track playing, you can switch it all the way to light and just get that really cool spin back effect. Shout out to the UK for the spin backs, pulling the song back. If you ever wondered how they did that and had it sound really seamlessly like that and made it seem like it's going on forever, pulling the jog wheel all the way to light and spinning it back is one really easy way to do it. Now, one last one that I know a lot of controller DJs out there like using is being able to bring the track all the way back to the beginning and just hitting one button. Now, usually on a controller, it's shift and then hitting the cue button, and then they'll send you right back to the beginning. But on most CDJs, you have these track search buttons right here. So instead of hitting shift and cue, just hit that right there, hit back, and it'll send you to the, the beginning of the track. If you go forward, it'll just go ahead and scroll through different songs, and then you can always just go back. And of course, these ones down here below it are to kind of scrub through the track, which is kind of nice. But like I mentioned, instead of hitting shift and cue to get back to the beginning of the song, if that's something that you like doing a lot, use these buttons right here, this track search button, and hit this left one to get back to the beginning of the track right away. Having to use CDJs for the first time instead of your controller of choice is much easier of a transition than it used to be. Now, although it is easier, there are some clear differences that you should be aware of before your first set on CDJs. Now, if you get familiar with the feature differences that we just listed, we are sure that your first set transitioning from a controller to CDJs will go much smoother. But now we hand it off to you. Have you made the jump from a controller to CDJs? If so, how'd that go? And do you have any other tips that we haven't listed above? Go ahead and leave that down in the comments below. We'd love to hear what you guys have to say. And if you haven't already, if you enjoyed tips and tricks videos just like this one, make sure you subscribe to the channel. Now, get good, get out there, and make the moments.